We are not our bodies, but we are the energy that is underlying our bodies. This is why when someone comes to me and they have some type of physical ailment, we can work with it in that session. And if they are truly and deeply honest and they go nice and deep and clean out all of the energy surrounding their physical ailment, then they can heal it right there, right then, in that very moment. Now, here's the deal. When Jesus would do his healing, so he would heal the people, he'd lay his hands on them, he'd speak about the love, he'd tell them, he'd enlighten them. And then he would go and he would say, now go and sin no more. Because if you and me resolve all kinds of things within your energetic system, and then you leave me, and then you go on and you continue to think in the same way that you did before, and to speak and to act in the same way that you did before about the same issue, thinking the same way about yourself or about someone else, it's going to come back. It is nothing that I am doing in a session. I am guiding the process. I just very clearly understand it. But it is you, if you're the one with the ailment, that has to do the work. And that work involves being very honest. Now, people tell me that they tell me things that they've never told another person before in their life, and I absolutely believe it. Because we are walking around here as wounded individuals, but yet we're trying to hide that. We don't want people to know about the bad things, the perceivably bad things about ourselves, because we think that it might make us look a certain way. Let me give you an example. Someone is abused sexually as a child. Now, it completely depends on the person as to how they are going to take that, how they're going to interpret it, how they're going to feel about it, and what they're going to think the other people in their life are going to think about it. Some people don't care. They don't care what other people think. I'm one of those people. Don't care. Doesn't matter. It's my life. But if you're somebody who thinks that it's going to make you not as valuable, that people are going to look down on you or view you in a different light, then you're certainly not going to tell anyone, are you? No, you're not. But yet, it's going to be within you and it's going to be wounding you constantly, because that type of pain embeds itself at a soul level. Now, the reason why this happens, the reason why something like sexual abuse is such a gross violation, is because intuitively we know we are all connected, especially when we are young children. Intuitively we know that we are only meant to experience and to have love. And so anything that is counteractive to that causes us pain and suffering. But it is through the healing of that we come back into alignment with the love that was meant for us in the first place. Now, if something happened to you as a child, I am not saying that this was your fault. It's not, obviously. You were a child. But your perpetrator, there was a previous agreement before you came here that you would be harmed in some way, so that you would be forced to heal from it and to find that spiritual growth. And through that, set yourself free, bring yourself back into divine alignment. There is truly nothing to forgive. Trust me, I understand. If it was sexual abuse, it's sick. It's disgusting, it's sick. I get the whole let's string them up and do whatever kind of thing, but I also get and understand that there is truly nothing to forgive. Let me go deeper, because if this upsets you, I want to really explain it, how I have set myself free from all of the people who have harmed me. Now, in regards to sexual abuse, have I been abused? Yes. What do I think about those people? I don't think anything of those people. I have long since forgiven them for being humans, and I'm very thankful for the experiences that I went through because they made me strong AF. Now, if someone wanted to tango with me and wanted to mess with me now in my life, would that be possible for them? No. But when you're young, and when people can take advantage of you, and when people can harm you, then sometimes they do. But if I was to look back on my life and I was to be upset about all of the things that had happened to me, and I was to think about that and I was to wallow in it, well, I would be taking away from my present life right now in this moment, and I don't want to do that. There is no purpose in that. There is no point in that. There is no healing in that. There is no goodness that is in that. So I'm not going to do it. Now, there can be confusion around certain circumstances, and you can look at them and you can think, how could that be a good thing? I don't understand it. For example, you're in a relationship and you're betrayed. How could good come from this? Well, let me tell you. Good can come from it in so many different ways. There's actually no limit that can come to it. First of all, the goodness that can come from it, is that you're now free from that person if you have the balls and the value and the worth within yourself to leave someone who betrays you. So you're now a stronger person. You've leveled up. But upon leaving this individual, you then need to understand and figure out why exactly that happened in the first place, so that you can ensure that it's not going to happen again. And I'm going to tell you, in my circumstance, it happened so that I could be set free from someone who was suffocating me and the person that I was. Now, did I want this at the time? Absolutely not. Was I in love with that man? Absolutely was. Thought he was the best thing to grace this earth. So when I got enlightened about the truth of that, well, my heart was broken. Several months. And had I not had children with this man, I would have been gone in 20 seconds or however long it took me to grab my things. But when I finally decided that I was going to leave, I couldn't stop smiling. And I basically haven't stopped since, because I've set myself free. Now, something that I thought that I wanted for 20 plus years, I realize, I did need that. I'm happy for it. I'm grateful for it. I was happy during it. That didn't take away from my happiness. Things were great for me. Until I realized the suppression that I had been under. And I didn't realize this until I left and set myself free. And then all of a sudden it became very, very clear to me, oh, well, how in the heck could I live out my purpose if I'm with someone who is against the very nature of my purpose? Well, I couldn't do it. So him betraying me and doing all of the things that he did was a blessed gift from the heavens. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I'm truly grateful. It's a gift that was given to me. But at the time, I didn't want the gift. I didn't want it because I didn't recognize it for what it truly was. An actual gift. Didn't know. I didn't know. I thought, how could this possibly be good? How could anything possibly good come from this? But so much good came from it. But like I said, we are not our bodies, we are the energy that underlies our bodies. So if I did not heal from this, and if I left and I was bitter and I played myself out to be a victim, I'm going to carry that victim low vibrational frequency within my energetic system that underlies my physical body. You can imagine this as like a blueprint that looks exactly just like you, although it's a little bit bigger. It extends outside of your body. You could imagine a blueprint of your body, and it's just walking around underlying your actual body every single place that you go. It's just the energy that underlies it. You know, when people say that they can see auras, that's what they're talking about. They're just seeing the energy that's there. This is a very easy thing to see. You can actually see it around physical objects. You can see it around everything, but you can especially see it around the human body. And the interesting about that is that it changes depending on how the person's feeling. The colors will change. But this is the energy I'm speaking of. So now let's say that I've been betrayed and I'm deciding to hold this low vibrational frequency within my body. Well, what I'm doing is I'm carrying it in my energy system, my soul level system. And so pretty soon, all of a sudden, you get a sore shoulder, you get a sore knee, you get a sore elbow, you get all the things, whatever you got. It's never a physical thing. It is never what you're doing. I hate to break it to you. I know. Because we want to make excuses for these things and say, no, well, I fell, or no, this thing happened to me. It doesn't matter how the incident occurred, how it showed up. It is because there is an emotion that's tied to it. I have only one time. No, actually, that's not true. I have 2 times. A man who was losing his sight, and another man who could barely walk. He couldn't even stand up for more than a few seconds without being in excruciating pain. And typically we're following the energy system back, but there was a few exceptions to where these people were healed based purely on the fact of their faith in the divine. And it was through this that their healing instantly happened. But that was the reason for their sickness, was to get them back into alignment with the divine love. So it doesn't matter what it is underneath it. Every single time, the only thing that we are doing when we are healing the energy under our bodies is we're getting into alignment with divine love. That's all that we're doing, because we are getting rid of the things that is not the truth. And anything that's not love is not the truth. So let's say you come to me and you've got arthritis. I can't think of what that means. It's in my book, though. If you don't have this book, it's called The Secret Language of Your Body, written by Inna Segal. The Secret Language of Your Body, written by Inna Segal. It's excellent. It will tell you what your physical ailments mean. So I will look it up in the book. I'll say, does this sound like you? And they'll be like, this does, this not so much. Okay, well then these are the things that we're working on. And once we heal these things, and then I take them on a soul journey, and we connect with the divine love and the all that it is everywhere. It's in the everything. And when we connect with that, then you have a choice of letting it go or keeping it. And typically most people, almost all of the time, choose to let it go. But sometimes there will be something underlying, or that is also attached to it, or something perhaps that they don't want to admit, or that they're not ready to work through, and it is through the resistance of not working through these things that their ailment will stay. But it is always a choice. It's up to the person. Some people don't want to be here. They don't want to be here. They want out. And so sometimes it's called secondary gain. Maybe somebody's going to stay sick because it's benefiting them in some way, right? They don't got to really go and live their life. They can have somebody else take care of them, and they can sit there and they can be sick. And sometimes people need this. They need to be taken care of. Sometimes maybe that's the lesson. But there is always healing available 100% of the time, every time, all the time, always, 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 always. And every bit of healing that ever occurs is done with divine love. It's the only thing, it's the only way that anyone in the history of the entire world has ever healed. Love. You get a cut on your arm. How do you heal that? Is it you that sits there and stares at your arm and thinks, okay, now I'm going to make this scab up, now I'm going to make this repair underneath this scab? No, you don't have any part in it, do you? No, it heals on its own. You don't even think about it. In fact, if you were to look at that and go, ooh, I don't know about that, ooh, that's probably going to scar up, oh, and you were going to put all kinds of negative things into it, well, you can create that and you can manifest that in your body. You can make yourself not heal by believing that you're not going to heal. But if you leave it alone and you've cut yourself, your body's going to heal all on its own, isn't it? You don't even have to think about it. It's happening when you're sleeping. It's happening constantly all day. Your cells are going, and how is it that they miraculously know exactly what to do? The intelligence of your body is unbelievable. Did you know that the only difference between a hair cell and a skin cell is the intelligent work that it performs? How do these cells know what to do? This in itself is a miraculous, wonderful experience that is presenting itself to us daily across the planet, and we don't even pay any mind to it. Same thing happens with the tree. You cut a tree. Oh, that tree, it's going to bleed. It's going to bleed, but it's going to repair itself. It's going to come. It's going to create some nice thick sap to protect that part of the tree that got cut. It knows what to do. And that tree doesn't need to start crying and be like, oh, I cut my limbs. Oh, what am I going to do? And start freaking out. No. It just heals. Because it does not get in the way of the divine love that is constantly, every second, every millisecond, being poured down on this planet if we would only but recognize it and accept it and love it and see the goodness that's there. Now, if you were to look out your window and you could see all those trees that are out there, maybe you see buildings. I hope you see trees. If not, you can imagine looking outside and seeing those beautiful trees. Now, when is the last time that you looked out there and that you truly appreciated it? You have all of these things, you have all this stuff, but do you actually sit there and appreciate it and send thankfulness out? Because the divine love is constantly pouring down on you every single second, and if you would but recognize that that is what it is and show it appreciation, it would multiply and multiply and multiply. You get what it is that you focus on. And so when you focus on the gifts and the blessings, the miraculous wonderments that are happening constantly, the miracles that constantly happen throughout nature, even daily, every second, every minute, if you were to look and appreciate that and see the goodness in it, your world would change, would it not? But instead we go, oh no, this person's coming over, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta go finish this project, gotta go do this thing, gotta run over here, gotta go do that, and you don't even take 2 seconds to appreciate all the beautiful things that you wanted so desperately. When's the last time you looked around your house and you showed any kind of appreciation for any of the material items that you bought? That at one point you saw those in the store and you were like, oh, I like that, that's real nice, I'm going to get that. And you got it and you liked it and you looked at it a bit when you very first got it, and then it sat somewhere, maybe on a table, maybe on a shelf, and then you didn't even look at it again, and now it's blended into your world and it's as if it's not even there anymore. When you could go around your house, you could see all those things that at one point you loved enough to buy, and you could go and you could put some new life and some new energy into them. This is what people who are in that enlightened state do. This is why it feels good even after they leave, right? Because they have blessed your space. So do this to your space. Go around and just appreciate all the things that you see, everything that you look at. When you look at that painting over there on the wall, look at it with eyes of love. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. Very nice. Move on to the next item. Oh, look, there's a vase over there. Oh, that's real nice too. Put your eyes on that and just put the love into it, 100% of the love. And now you might think that this is silly and ridiculous and that it doesn't really matter, but it matters more than you could imagine, because you are not your body, but you are the energy that's underlying your body. And that vase sitting over on that shelf is not a vase, but it is the energy that is sitting there. And so we can charge up this energy, we can put good things in it, or we could do the opposite, but of course we're not going to do that. But some people do. They look around their house and they're in such a negative state that everything that they're looking at is being imbued with their negativity. And so then all those beautiful things that at one point you bought that you thought were absolutely so beautiful, now they do not look beautiful anymore, do they? They've lost their lack and luster. And it is because they have been charged with negative energy. So if you can still look around your house and you can appreciate all the things that you have, then you have charged it up with positive energy. And when you can intentionally do this, and you can do this very often, it's going to change your life, because you're going to appreciate all the things that you have around you. And then very soon you're going to be a whole lot more mindful. Do I want to buy that thing? Do I need that thing? Maybe you do. Maybe you want it, but you're going to put goodness and you're going to put love into it because you're training yourself to do this. So if you haven't already done this, if this is not something you've done, if ever you've never looked around and you've never appreciated the things, then just know that the more that you do it, once you start doing it today, the better you're going to get at it, just like anything, just like meditating, just like all of the stuff and the things that you suck at when you first do it and then you get real good at it. The more that you do it, the better you're going to feel because you're going to be charging up your environment with this positive energy, and it is going to be charging you up as well. So what you're putting out is returned back to you, even just in your environment. Now, not to mention the fact that if you are doing this, if you're charging up your environment and you're putting all that good out there, well, how long is that going to take you to do it? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? You are spending all that time in a heightened appreciative state. And so what's going to happen? Not only are you going to improve your house, but pretty soon other things that you can appreciate are going to come into your life so that you can appreciate them too, because the universe goes, oh, they like to appreciate things. Well, we better send something more for them to appreciate. So you're doing yourself favors on all kinds of levels by doing this. It's the least selfish thing that you could do is to truly appreciate something. Even if it's your things, it's not selfish. You worked hard for those things. But because we are not our bodies and we are the energy that underlies our body, we need to be aware of what is held within our energy. Now, when I work with people on a soul level, meaning I'm taking them into theta state. I'm taking you out of this consciousness, and we are going down into the subconscious mind, the soul level. This is a deep soul level. And it's because there is a level of awareness that is in this deep soul level that is not in the conscious level. If I was to ask you a question consciously and ask you a question subconsciously, more than likely, you would answer it differently. Not necessarily, depending on the question. But you would have much deeper insights and awareness when you are in a subconscious level. You become aware of everything. You become aware of all of yourself. You become aware of even lives that you've lived in the past, or maybe these are ancestral lives that are passed down through our DNA. But you can become aware of literally everything about yourself and about the world around you when you go down into this deep soul level. And so it's here, in this level, that we clean house. Because this energy level, this soul level, this is the energy storage level. And so we can carry things here within our energy system, and we can carry them within our energy system for such a long time, and we don't even know that we're doing it. We aren't even aware. The amount of people that have gone back and had some past life, something, myself included, some type of something, some kind of a revelation, and then it changed the way that they felt in this life. It changed the way that they feel. It maybe took away a problem. This is amazing. This is amazing stuff. All because we're doing healing at a soul level. Now, why do we do this? Because then we're working with that energy that underlies your body. We're working at that level. And what do we want that level to look like? We want it to look pure and beautiful, bright, white, glowing light. That's what we want. And if there's anything in there that is not that bright, white, glowing light, then it is not the truth. It's not a truthful energy, and we need to remove it because it's making you suffer and live in hell in some way. Now, we create hell in our minds all day long, right? You can go from one thought to the next, and you can take yourself from heaven to hell, back and forth in 1 minute. You can go back and forth. Oh, I think it's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. I don't know about this, but what if it is? Heaven to hell, back and forth, 1 minute. How many times can you do it? I'm sure at one point in your life, you've probably done it 10 times, back and forth. What am I going to do? Especially when you're in a state of confusion. Now, what can we do? What can we do to change this so that we're not going back and forth all the time? Well, we can start cleaning house. You could go visit the Mental Cleanse series. That's a playlist that I've got. This would be like attending free group hypnotherapy sessions with me. And there's 40, a variety. There's 40 topics to pick from. As if you were attending one of my groups, and you can come and you can sit and you can listen. You can start to clean house in your mind and in your energy system. Because as long as you are holding resentment, jealousy, anger, hate, slander, guilt, shame, sadness, hurt, vindictiveness, all of these low vibrational things, as long as you're holding these within your energetic system, you are not in the pure flow and the love of the divine, and so you will be suffering in some way. So how do you set yourself free? Listen to the Mental Cleanse series. Start to meditate. Meditate on the love. Start to put some good energy into your house around you. Even just an exercise like that is going to make a huge difference. Appreciate the sheets that are in your bed. Appreciate the pillow that you lay your head down on. Appreciate your bed. Oh, it's so comfortable. Appreciate your blankets. What's the weight of your blanket feel like? Appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that you've got a nice room, cozy room that you can have your bed in. You can shut your door if you want to. You could leave it. Just appreciate your entire house. Appreciate every single thing about it. And if you're like, oh, I don't like my house, I don't whatever, well, then you're going to keep getting more things that you don't like, because you're putting out the vibration of I don't like, and the universe goes, oh, they want more I don't like, and so it sends it to you. So truly appreciate it. You got running water in your house. Appreciate that. You know how many people don't? How appreciative can you be? You can be pretty appreciative when you think about it, because you have a lot to be thankful for. And you know what? It's real fun. When you go on one of these rampages, maybe you can do it right as soon as we're done here. And you can go on in your mind and you can just think about all the things that you're thankful for, because it's endless. There's so many. Oh, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for this nice soft rug that I get to walk on. It's endless. It's endless. It's endless. It's endless. And when you focus on that, you're going to notice how you feel after the fact, and you're going to feel real good. So keep this in mind. You are not your body, but you are the energy that is underlying your body's system. And so if there is something that is going on within you, this is telling you that there is something that is not in divine alignment, and it is something that you need to heal. And more than likely, it's some kind of hurt and it's some kind of pain. Maybe it's some kind of frustration, maybe it's some kind of anger. But more than likely, it's probably some kind of hurt and some kind of pain. And when we heal this on a soul level, on a subconscious level, then our body heals instantly. It will be instant. You change your mind, you change your thinking about that thing, and all of a sudden, you're golden. Your pain's gone, just like that. So, I love you all today. I love you all yesterday. I love you all tomorrow as well. I'm headed out for the weekend here, going to another city, so I hope to not miss any recordings, but I'm going to be gone for a couple days here. Anyways, hopefully I got you guys set up real good, so that I can talk to you again here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the one after that. Love you all so much. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Check out the next video in the lineup.